Jeep's Grand Cherokee has a legend that needs no introduction. But with this latest generation, it's trying to take it to a whole nother level of refinement and luxury. And with the addition of a 3-liter EcoDiesel engine, does this put it over the top and make it really the do-all vehicle? Well, that's what we're going to find out here today on Rumblestrip.NET and 10-Minute Test Drive. So right off the bat, this new generation of Jeep Grand Cherokee is very good. There's just no denying it. Now we have it in a upscale trim level, which is the Overland, and it's nice. It's well done. The interior is nice. It has some nice details to it with a few issues, and I guess we should just get those off the bat right away. This vehicle comes in at a shade under 50 grand. Sorry, 52 grand. That's, a good chunk of money. Let's not beat around the bush. And there are certain things we've come to expect when you get above $50,000. Even understanding the fact that the base model of this comes in substantially less. But from an interior material standpoint, for the most part, it's good. The material on the seats is great. The top dash here is well done. I like this kind of saddle brown with the lighter tone stitching. The wood trim looks good, but the problem is the lower part of the trim here, the tan, looks nice. Unfortunately, it's almost all hard plastic, and that goes through the back. Now, understanding that a Jeep is a little bit of a rough and rugged kind of vehicle, potentially, but most people will just drive it in the urban jungle and navigate the off-roads of the malls and the local potholes of your municipality. I'd like to see a little bit better materials. We've had some recent experience in a Q5, in a VW Touareg, and obviously in the VW it's a lot nicer and not for a whole lot more money, and also the VW as well. A little bit more money, especially because the vehicle that we're trading this in for review, the next one up you'll see, potentially, is the Touareg TDI. So in a sense, we're driving these back to back a little bit, and so just to keep things fresh in our minds. And the interior of the Touareg is nice. In some ways this is nicer. In other ways, the Touareg is a little bit nicer. And one of the details in the Touareg that's nicer is that there's much less hard plastic. Now, some of the materials aren't quite as nice in other places, but again, and I don't want to harp on it, but really hard plastic, this much hard plastic in a $50,000 vehicle. So, that out of the way, let's get to the rest of it. There are a few nanny things in here that drive us nuts. One is the blind spot monitoring. So, let's say you're driving on the highway and you pass a vehicle and you're trying to get back into the other lane. You could be a full car distance past it and the light is still blinking and this will beep at you incessantly. I mean, just really annoying. I mean, you're well clear. There is no danger unless you were to slam on your brakes. The other one is if you have the key in your pocket and you open the door to get out while the vehicle is running because, you need to grab something, you forgot something, this thing will beep at you like you're a criminal. Just ridiculous. A little less nannyism, please. Okay. Those are really the negative things we have to say about it. Other than that, this thing has been fantastic. It rides incredibly well. It has the adjustable height suspension on it, so we can set it in sport here, and It will go into sort of an aero mode, stiffen up the suspension a wee bit. And even at that, on the highway or on the roads, it's been great. If you want to go off-road, you can raise this thing up quite a bit. It also, as you're driving, if you're up a little bit in height, then you come and you stop and you park, it will lower itself to a lower level to make it easier to get in and out. Wish it was a little quicker, but understand you're dealing with hydraulics and air and things like that, so it takes a little bit of time, but it could be a little quicker. The 3-liter EcoDiesel is really nice. Minor issue, again, and this is directly comparing it to the diesel in the Touareg, and we've had some, again, not only with the Touareg, but also it's the same engine that's in the Audi A7 TDI. This one sounds a little more industrial, agricultural. If you are used to a diesel engine in a modern pickup truck, now I'm not saying old pickup truck, but you know, modern direct injection kind of pickup truck, the engine will sound very familiar to you. It sounds like a diesel. The VWs, you don't know that you're driving a diesel. Now, the only reason I bring this up is this. We are huge fans of diesels. In fact, when we had a chance of driving this or the SRT8, we chose this because we really wanted to see how the diesel held up. And it's great, okay? It is really a choice engine. But just the engine note, and when we're trying to mainstream diesels as much as possible, if you can't tell that it's a diesel, to me that's a better thing. Now some people say, no, I want people to know I have a diesel, or I like to hear the diesel noise. Okay, great. You won't like it. It's not annoying, it's not obnoxious, but you do notice it. So the diesel option in this is a $4,500 option. So you have to ask yourself, is it worth it? Well, let's run through some numbers really quick, and I'm pulling these a little bit off the top of my head. We looked at them earlier, but we're driving and can't like read and talk at the same time. So for the diesel, it's 28 highway and 22 city for the 4-wheel drive. We're just going to quote 4-wheel drive because I don't really see a reason to have a 2-wheel drive Grand Cherokee. For the V8, the 5.7 Hemi V8, it is 14 in the city and 20 on the highway. And then for the 3.0-liter V6, I believe it was 18 city, 24 highway. So, V6 versus the diesel, yes, there's a difference. V8 versus diesel, huge difference. I mean, you think about it, 8 miles to the gallon on the highway, probably 8 or 9 in the city. I'm trying to remember what the city, I think the city is 20 in this. Our experience is right on 28 on the highway, so that's right on, and about 25 combined. So if you're thinking that you want to do some towing and you're like, well, do I get the V8 or do I get the diesel? Get the diesel. I mean, just the fuel economy alone in just everyday driving is going to make things better. Now, this has 240 horsepower, but of course diesels aren't known for making horsepower, it's the torque. This has 420 foot-pounds of torque. The V8 is 390 torque and 360 on the horsepower. This thing has torque right off the hit, torque peak at 2,000. It accelerates nicely. The transmission is geared a little bit towards economy. You need to put your foot in it if you want it to kick down, or you really need to spool the turbo quickly. But if you do that, it's gone. It accelerates very nicely. So $4,500 for the diesel, is it worth it? Yeah, I think so. You'll get your money back on it, especially if you're considering the V8. Okay, it's obviously you're going to pay for the V8. This will be a little bit more. Get the diesel. This has the excellent Uconnect system with the 8-inch, or a little over 8-inch touchscreen. It works great. It really is one of the best, if not the best, in the industry. It's something that you should order, especially with the navigation. The navigation works excellent. I wish more people did it as well as Chrysler is doing it with this. This has all the toys and gadgets you'd want. Like, you know, obviously you pair your Bluetooth, you have connections. This one is equipped with the rear seat entertainment, which is has two screens, with the Blu-ray player, which is cool that they're actually using a Blu-ray player. Not something we'd order, but that's us. I'd rather spend that money elsewhere or not spend it at all. But if you got kids, you're going to be doing a lot of road trips. It's probably a good thing to have wireless headphones. It's a nice system. You can also, it's got HDMI jack, so you could always bring your Xbox, your PlayStation as well, plug right in, and you're good to go. To have a chance to tow or take this off-road, they're just really not a good place right now that's within a couple hours drive to take it off-road. Fingers crossed, there's going to be an off-road park about an hour and a half away from here that's going to be opening next year. And when we get 4x4 trucks and things like Jeeps, we'll have a chance to do that, but it's not open yet. So, towing, we know people who have towed with this, with the new Jeep and with the diesel, and they say it works great. You know, obviously 7,400 pounds is going to be your limit on that, so you're not towing 28-foot enclosed trailer with the race car with it, but you'll be able to tow an open trailer with a race car, motorcycles, even a decent sized boat, or, you know, an RV back there. So it should get the job done for you. And that's why we say this should be kind of a do-it-all vehicle. It gets good mileage. It drives really well. If you can tell by the ambient noise, it's reasonably quiet. You know, it just has pretty good fit and really good fit and finish. It'll tow, it'll haul. I mean, what else do you want? It is a Jeep. It can go anywhere. You don't need us taking it out to Moab or anywhere else to show you what it can do. Everyone else has done that. Our thought is, as an everyday vehicle, how is it? Does it make any compromises? And the answer is no.